welcome to Conversations and Opinions. I'm Tarvis.
I'm Clorissa.
I'm Caronica.
And I'm Shae. And today we talking about communication, reason, and the season. All right, girls, let's get into this conversation right now, right here.
If I don't like the way a particular person communicates with me, then it doesn't matter why they're communicating with me that way. I don't need to know why. It's okay that you got something going on. Everybody got something going on, bruh. We not in season. You can't meet me where I need to be met. It don't matter why you can't meet me there, because that's where the judgment comes in, when you start to investigate and want to know why and figure out if it's a good enough reason. Because we feel good judging people if we judging them in a kind light, right? Like if you determine, oh, it's good enough. Nah, bro, I don't care why you ghosted me, my G. You ghosted me.
Okay.
Okay. Y'all always want me to jump it off, but I'm going to sit back for a minute and let one of y'all go.
We can put this in a dating situation. We can put this in relationships, however way you want this, because this is for anything. But you know, when you're dating and that person that you like and everything seems like it's going good, you get to the date and an hour, 15 minutes before you're supposed to pull up, you don't hear nothing. And you give somebody a call, you don't hear anything. And then 2 weeks later, somebody calls you and tell you about this random story of their life-altering things that have happened. Everyone has been there somewhere, sometime in life.
Yeah.
And basically what we're talking about, does that matter? Like, does the excuse that people give you later on, does it matter? Does it matter that someone ghosted you? Do we need to know the reason behind why people do what they do?
Does the why matter? So that's important, because we as a people, as a society, we feel like we have to explain stuff. Every time we can't do something, we're like, hey, are you able to make it to my son's game? Oh, I'm sorry, girl, I have 3 errands to run. It's like, all the explanations,
right?
Aren't the explanations, do they help the end result? The end result is I'm not going to make it.
Right.
So does it matter why? Yo, you just hit the nail on the head with your description of how to open that up, because I have a story exactly like what you just said. After a year, and communication is so important, and I'm telling you, the why does not matter. It really doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It does not.
I had taken a year off of dating, and I was like 9 months into the hiatus, because I'm like, I'm finding myself, I'm learning myself. What are my standards, my new standards? Okay. I took my son to a new barbershop. And I probably shouldn't have said that, but okay, it's out here now. But okay, so I took my child to a barbershop, and I came into contact with a person who found me attractive. I thought he was attractive too. And even though I wasn't dating, I thought he was cute, and I left. We left, new barbershop, new haircut, we leave. 5 minutes after we leave, we get a call from the barbershop. And I'm like, oh, did my son leave his wallet? Did we leave something behind? And he was like, no, this is so unprofessional, but I would like an opportunity to chat with you, further. I know it's unprofessional to just call a customer. I'm like, oh, okay, well, you sound really cool, but I'm not dating. That's it. He was like, well, why are you not dating? I'm like, I'm just not. I'm not in that season. I'm not dating right now. We talked for about an hour, and he ended up being really cool. First conversation was hilarious, fun. He was like, dang, I need to hear this story. So he invited me out to dinner. And I'm like, after talking for an hour, just because I'm not dating doesn't mean I can't go have dinner with somebody new. I'm not trying to do physical stuff. So, okay, cool. Y'all, when you are 9 months into not dating, your legs are not shaved, not painted any nails. I mean, I was in a condition where it's like only y'all could see me. Wasn't no
bad under the clothing.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So I went through this whole metamorphosis. He invited me out. I'm like, okay, y'all, I got my hair done. I did all this stuff, like 2-3 hours worth of prep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All of this stuff. And my niece, who was like, I thought you wouldn't date nobody. I'm like, no, I'm not, but I'm just, I'm going to go hang out. My son was very nonchalant, but he's kind of looking like, okay, you're going to talk to that guy. Y'all, I did all this prep. The date was for the next day at 5:00. My address is one thing. His address is 3 digits down the street different. It was so close. Like literally, I could look out the window and see. Y'all, I did all this getting dressed. Now 12:00, he's like, we still on for 5? I'm like, yep. It's 2:00. We still on? I'm like, yep. So he's doing all this lead up. Y'all, it gets to be 5:00, 5:30, 6:00, 7:00, and by then I am furious. Y'all, I just start taking off the earrings. My niece is looking like scared, like, oh my God, she's doing that crazy thing. She's not talking. She's just removing all of her clothes, y'all. I was so mad. I was so mad. That was a Friday. All day Friday went by. All day Saturday. All day Sunday. Monday, I get a text. Hey, Miss. Hey, Missy. Sorry, I had my contractor at my house. Blah 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 blah. I had to get home and get the contractor straight. And I'm thinking,
You couldn't text. You could. What? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, nothing. And here's the thing too. You were 3 seconds down the street. If you couldn't make the date, you better stop by and drop off a flower and say, hey, I'm a Uber eat some dinner. I mean, you don't have to do anything, but the proper communication would have been, I am so sorry for this last minute cancellation. Let me do something to make it. Don't leave me just hanging.
Right.
So I thought.
Right.
I was so mad about, y'all was so mad about that. I couldn't believe it. First of all, I wasn't trying to talk to you. Secondly, now I'm running through all the reasons I shouldn't have did it in the first place. You ain't the finest person I ever seen. So I can't believe I did all that stuff to go on a date and you gonna stand me up after chasing me down. You stood me up. I was so mad. And when it came down to it, no matter how cool I thought on the front end, none of it mattered. Once I got ghosted and once I went 3 days without even I'm sorry, the third day didn't matter. Y'all, I didn't care. It is as if it never happened. When he called me, oh, hey. And I'm like, hey, how's it going? What's up? He was like, I just want to explain. I'm like, oh, you do not have to. It's not even important. No, I just need to tell you. I'm like, no, actually, you don't. I do not care. I will never see you again. And I see him all the time. All the time.
But you know what? I want to piggyback on what you just said, the line you just said. Sir, you don't have to explain. You know, I'm finna spin it on the spiritual side because I go to North Point Community Church. You guys know Andy Stanley. And he just finished a series called The Weight of Your Word. And he talks about how when we communicate and we hurt one another, there's some things in there that you were saying. So the weight of your words is, if you do something, say you're sorry. When you go into an explanation, now all you're doing is agitating, frustrating that person that you hurt just by trying to explain. Stop the explanation. You did it, say you're sorry, let it be there. But we don't realize that the weight of our words truly affects people and how we move.
If the explanation isn't that somebody died, then I wasn't worth even the simplest moment of you taking time to just give me a quick call. Now, if it had been, I got into a car accident or my child had an emergency and fell down a flight of stairs and I'm sorry, I wouldn't think about anything else. Those are the types of things that are like, okay, I get it. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Is everything okay? Right. I had to go to my house and tell my child.
Like, see, that was
you already know what that was.
That was a lie. Let's call a spade a spade. I lied.
Something else. He did something else. He had some other priority that wasn't you at that time.
Correct.
He was like, okay, I can't say nothing because probably somebody dropped in, came in, so he can't contact you, have a whole conversation with you like he would want to because somebody right next to him.
For 3 days.
People be tripping. Men have a problem with just telling you the real. My thing is, I'm not your wife. I'm not somebody you even dating like that. So to be somebody out of the blue and to have a whole situation of going out or asking me out or whatever the case may be, you can easily say, well, I'm not able to make it this time, or can we please postpone this to another day or time? That's so easy to do. But people will have you do all that you did, get spruced up, and then you flat out told dude, yo, I'm not trying to date nobody. I don't want none of this. But you pushed the envelope, got me freaking excited for freaking nothing. I don't understand. Men are a trip. I had something like that happen to me. Having great time with this guy, talking to him, all this stuff. And then we having serious talks for like a while, days, almost like weeks. And then we was getting to the point where we was trying to meet up and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, I ain't heard from this dude no more. Just out of the blue. A month later.
No.
A month later, dude was like, yo, I just, I really like you and blah, 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 blah. But this happened. And then the stuff, he had the nerve to tell me what really happened.
Was it a coma?
Huh?
Was it a coma?
Right.
he had a revenge situation with an ex that came up, and he was telling me the whole story. And I'm thinking, like, for one, I wouldn't even entertain this, but it's just entertaining to me, the fact that to hear the BS you about to tell
To
me.
hear the lie.
No, it probably was the truth, because what he told me was that this girl who basically dumped him and basically ruined his whole life came back into his situation and was trying to come after him, and he wanted to basically repay the revenge to this chick.
Oh,
and instead of girl, then so
like I said, a lie. You know, because if you don't know him for a month, well, were you talking to him for a month and he waited for 30 days? I mean,
right.
There's no need for the explanation. I don't care if it was revenge. I don't. You just didn't want to deal with me on that day
at all. And they need to do like
exactly
did on her show. Take back the invitation. Excuse me.
Who said that? Who said that?
Livia.
Oh,
on the new dating.
Queen's Court.
Yes. Just
yes.
the invitation. Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, sir. I know I just invited you out, but can I take back that invitation?
Yes, she sure did. She sure did.
It's like, it's crazy because people take things so like serious. Like,
yes,
I meet you on the street. You literally should just play this as we cool, we homies, and if something comes out of it, comes out of not. So the fact that you do all that leading up and then just to go somebody, just say, hey, I ain't gonna make it. You know, when you wake up in that morning.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you trying to go see that person, just say, don't wait till 2:00, don't wait till 3:00, checking in just to see if they say, oh no, I can't go. So be a ghost. Because that's what that is. It's just I'm just checking in, leading up. It's like, okay, is she gonna cancel? Is she gonna cancel? Oh, she ain't canceling. So let me just. But I don't know what people's mindset, and I know women do this too. But because we are women, we're speaking from a woman's point of view. Right. It's just, I just feel like people don't have that honesty anymore. Like,
correct.
You don't have to be into me. Just say, hey.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
I thought about it, changed my mind.
I ain't gonna be able to do it.
Well, my ex came back in my life.
You ain't gotta tell me any of that. Like, my thing is, you don't even have to call me. Send me a quick text and say, hey, I ain't gonna make it. I'll talk to you another time.
And then, you know what? The thing is, people don't give other people enough credit for being able to receive the truth.
Right. Yes.
He said, you know what? I know you said you weren't dating. I am so in that situation, it's funny. It has turned into a humorous situation because I do run into him regularly, like in everyday life, because we are in such close proximity, grocery store, gym, everywhere. So it's just like, it's a crack up now, because now we actually are, it's kind of like funny because every time we see each other, we both just kind of like, we both kind of bust out laughing, because it's like, he was like, no, he was like, forever, like, don't ever call you again. I was like, no, and I'm not even mad at you, but the situation is just funny to me because simple communication would have literally, I'd have been able to reschedule, or, you know, just like you said, Caronica, doing all the checking in to see if I'm going to cancel because something popped up for you. You try not to be the bad guy. Yeah. But all you have to say was, or you didn't even make up a good lie. You didn't even say I got COVID. No, but it was before that. It was before COVID.
But anything. Like anything. I fell down the stairs.
Yes. But people can tell you the truth. But here's the thing too. People don't think you can handle the truth, or they don't want to look like a bad guy. It's not a bad guy to say, you know, I looked through your Instagram and I don't like the way you look from the side. I don't want to go on this date. Or, you know what, I'm not ready emotionally, and talking to you was really cool, but I'm gonna mess you up if I talk to you. Just tell the truth, because people receive the truth. People are much more mature and much more evolved than other people would like to give them credit for. And
if they're not, then you already know that person, because I mean, especially when we're talking about adults, you know, where it's like, okay, if I get to change my mind for whatever reason, and I don't feel like explanation is needed when I don't know you.
Yeah.
Like, if I just meet you and I want to go out dinner with you, and I call you, say, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it. I don't have to tell you I'm not going to be able to make it because my kid is sick. I don't have to tell you I'm not going to be able to make it because I have no connection to you. There's no connection to you. Why do I have to tell you why I'm not going to make something when I just met you 2 seconds ago?
Yeah.
But I think what's really the root of this, a couple of things. One, we don't know how to communicate anymore because everything is based off of social media. There is no face-to-face interaction anymore. That's like foreign. And two, the fact that what you said, Chloe, about just the truth.
Mhm.
It's so hard for people to tell the truth because of social media and the non-existence of face-to-face interaction.
Yeah.
Because we all know that social media ain't the truth.
Mhm.
People be like, so now it's indoctrinating into us, oh, well, I can make up anything on social media to get likes, get hits, so I can make money. So now, does that change how I truly am authentically when I'm meeting somebody in person? Oh, let me lie. I can't tell the truth because I've been telling a lie on social media. They may check that. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I'm like, really? Can we just Caronica, as you said, we're adults. Can we be an adult? The truth is the truth is the truth. It is what it is.
And I
People
think
don't have
social
respect.
media has
People don't
always
have respect for each other. That's what that is. People have no respect for one another. You don't have respect for my time. You don't have respect for who I am.
Mhm.
You don't have respect to even find out who I am in order to find out if that is something that will fly with me.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, you just don't.
And you know, about respect, Chronica, I'm sorry, I'm gonna just jump in real quick and then I'll bounce to you. I had to have accountability for the whole thing because guess what? I disrespected myself first. I said I wasn't dating for a year.
exactly.
And here I go, jumping in on 8 months and 26 days, talking about, yeah, let's go out to dinner. And so at the end of the day, it wasn't even his fault. I should not have stepped outside of my own journey that I had set for myself. But as you know, sometimes it's easier to kind of let yourself down because nobody else is going to be hurt. So I'm like, well, what's it going to hurt?
Right.
A direct lesson from God. I said, you wanted, and here we are on this healing journey, and you messing up. So that was a note to myself on not to shift my own, values and morals and what I got going on. If the answer is no, my answer should have just been no from the jump, and holler at me in 3-4 months after I'm done. So yeah, that accountability fell on me ultimately at the end of the day.
And I was piggybacking off of what Tarvis said about communication. I do think social media shows people can show true colors or show, but I think that we always have had a problem with communication because as long as I've known, the ghosting thing has been since high school, and people don't take the truth because it's a known thing that people always say that women can't handle the truth. So a lot of times we get bull answers because it's like, I don't know why people think that all women are desperate for relationships so that I can't handle the truth, because that's the known, like if you hear a lot of these topics and people's like, well, women can't handle the truth, they can't handle the truth, and some people can't handle the truth, but there are people who is like, I would rather you tell me the truth than waste my time.
Absolutely.
We didn't say the truth don't hurt.
Yeah.
Handling the truth is totally different. If you say that, oh, I'm not attracted to you, that might hurt somebody's feelings, but can they handle the truth is that's two different things to me. Like, I can be sad, I could be hurt or disappointed in something, but still handle what you just told me.
Yeah.
I'm not coming over there cussing you out or doing all kind of crazy stuff because you don't want to go on the date with me. Like that, I feel bad because I feel like a lot of women are put in this thing like we just can't handle anything. And so I have to give you those I have to give you those crazy excuses, because to me that's an insult. You coming to me a month later, 5 days later, talking about something crazy like that, like, really, dude? That's like, you don't have no type of respect. Like, how are you coming to me? Don't call. Like, I would rather for you. I would have more for you. You just kept on down that journey.
Right. Stay ghosted.
They were able to get away with it somewhere. Somebody else let them do it, so that's why they think they can do it to somebody else. Some girl took the call after a month. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy that people are comfortable doing it. Like, it ain't no way I ghosted somebody and I feel the need to dial their number again. Like, I just ain't
back up.
Girl, no. No.
But now, Caronica, when you said women can't handle the truth, I don't know that I've ever heard that. I just think people can't handle the truth.
No,
Because
men be saying that because they
Men make that comment all the time.
They handle us
Really?
with soft gloves. Oh, let me just tell her something because I don't want to hurt her feelings, or she ain't gonna be able to, or they think we're gonna be crazy if they tell us the truth.
But it's about that man. It's him not being able to communicate and feeling. See, I don't want to be the bad guy. I don't want to have to tell you the truth about the reason why I don't want to mess with you no more, or talk to you no more, or further this situation. So it ain't. I think it's just all an excuse. It's the fact that you don't know how to communicate without making it look like that you're the bad guy. I don't want to be the bad guy. I don't. Regardless, it don't matter. Even if I'm the bad guy.
Yeah,
I don't want to be the bad guy.
Y'all ever been the bad guy? Okay, because let's turn it on his head for a second here, y'all, because we going hard in the paint. Have you ever been the bad guy? Have
you? But here's the thing. I've never ghosted. I'll pick up the phone and say, y'all know I'm a straight shooter. No, I wasn't feeling you. No, I can't go. Well, you so mean. No, I'm not. Because here's the reality, and I think Shae mentioned it, respect of time. Mm-hmm. Time is the most valuable commodity we have. It's not promised. It's ever moving. And I don't want to waste anybody's time because I don't want anybody to waste my time. So I may have said yes, but I thought about it. And dang, you mean what made you change your mind? I just don't want to. Period. There's no explanation. I'm not going. I hope you find somebody, go with whomever. No.
Mine wouldn't be ghosted, but I have been in situations where I require, my expectations of people is maybe a little bit in my mind, and I don't explain it. I just don't deal with it. So people be like, well, what is wrong with, she stuck up, a Caronica got attitude. No, I just don't. I've been in situations where it's like, you want to go out on Friday? Sure. If I don't hear from you or you follow up with me, then you reach to me on Friday and be like, we going out? No, we're not. And they'd be like, you never show up. To me, that's just I have to have some type of communication. And I feel like if I ain't heard from you and we ain't verified nothing, then ain't nothing happening. Because I feel like when I know everybody know the feeling when you like somebody a lot. I don't care what nobody say. And if that's your if that's the best you got for liking me, then I don't want it. So I don't feel like it's ghosting, but I don't give a lot of explanation because I don't feel like you have to. I don't think it's required. Why do I gotta give you an explanation? Like, if that's who you are and how you date, I don't want you to change it because I said something. Yeah, just do it for.
You're just not dealing with.
No, because people tend to move how you say. I'm not that woman. I ain't nobody's mama. Like, you got those motherly women. She ain't me. Like, you got those people who be like, well, I don't like when you do, and I'll say things like that. I don't like what you do, but I'm not gonna continue to say it. Yeah. Like, how like, oh yeah, I have to have another talk with him. Why? Yeah. Like, that's just who that person is. Like, why are we having another talk? Yeah. Like,
about the same thing.
About the same thing. So that's how I did the dating scene too, because it's like, if that's the way that person is, then that's who they are. I don't want you to adjust it just to go on a date.
Right.
The way you really do things is going to come out sooner or later.
Correct.
So I can meet you and have a one conversation with you, or one or two conversations, and realize that we don't have anything in common, or this wouldn't work, and we just not talk to each other no more. Yeah. Or I'm not contacting you, or you're not contacting me. And I don't think that's necessarily ghosting.
No, I don't think so.
I think that's just, we just realize, okay, we're not dateable for each other. We can't date. We can't really talk to each other like that because it's not feasible for us to see each other in the long-term situation.
Yeah, the compatibility is not there. So it's like, identifying incompatibility is not wrong. I've been on a date with somebody and knew I wasn't their cup of tea. And I've been on a date with somebody where I was texting y'all, girl, oh my goodness, this was different than I thought, or wow, his voice doesn't carry well for long periods of time, like anything. So it's okay to deem yourself not compatible. I just think respecting people's time, their feelings, because of me, again, we have all these conversations about keeping it real and being accountable and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, people are people. People want to be treated well. We want to be treated well. So just treat people with the same type of communication and or respect that you would like to have for yourself or for your loved ones, because I've wanted to be the bad guy in some situations, but I just can't. I've not liked somebody immediately and still went on the date. Now that ain't serving yourself.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, with time you learn. You learn with time, and you just say, "Oh, I'm never gonna do that again," because I did that, and I understand what happens as a result of that. But yeah, being the bad guy, communicating strongly is not being a bad guy, no matter how
Correct.
If you're telling your truth out loud. All they can do is say, I hate the way she delivers stuff, which is probably an indicator for them.
Oh, yeah, that's what they say to me all the time. My delivery, including y'all. Go ahead.
Girl, but have we been right, though? Has anybody been right?
Oh, yeah. But my delivery is what it is. Yeah. I mean, if you can't handle how I'm giving you the truth, I don't know what to tell you. Because what I've had to learn is that people don't communicate the way I do, so I have to respect how they communicate. Yeah. And as the guy said on the video you're gonna post, some people don't communicate the way I do, so they ain't dealing with me, and I'm okay with that decision. Yeah. I really am. Mm-hmm. It is what it is, because whoever's supposed to be in my life is gonna be in my life. Mm-hmm. That's just how I feel about it.
I think.
So am I the only one that was the bad guy? Because I was the only one that spoke up. Shae, Caronica, Chloe, y'all ain't never been the bad guy?
I would never just go on a date and just never show up. Are you talking about exactly. As far as like that? Those are my reasons where somebody else I've been told that, oh, you never show up, but am I not showing up? Or are you just not coming through the way I want?
See, that's a communication thing, because some people think that when we set a date, if we both said yes, then we both gonna show up at the place. Some people think, oh yeah, we said that 2 weeks ago, but let's just check in, the week of to make sure that we still doing that. I've seen both situations. I had an employee who ended up not working for my company anymore because we had such a hard clash on communication with me telling her we were going to have an employee meeting. We were doing staff evaluations and she did not come. Now, yeah, we said it a month ago, but did I tell you that we weren't doing the employee evaluation? What made you not come after we sent the invitation? You accepted the invitation. What follow-up? And that was her thing. You didn't follow up with me in the meantime. Well, we set a date and we said yes. So what's the follow-up need? We agreed. I think it just depends on the type of situation you're in too, because in social settings, and when you're busy, like all four of us on this thing, y'all, we can go back and forth 80 times on the time that we're going to jump on and do this recording. So some situations do call for lots of follow-up in between. And some are just like, okay.
Especially the dating thing. Like if I haven't been on one date with you, then follow-up is needed. Like if I'm in a relationship with you and we set Friday to Friday, then I'm looking forward to Friday because I know that we set our relationship. We don't have to talk about it all day, but we know in the dating scene, if you don't hear from somebody for 2 days, they could have moved on, which is fine.
A whole nother situation.
Right. So if I don't hear from you and then you call me on Friday morning, I'm like,
I didn't think
I got another situation going on. I didn't make another somebody up on Thursday. I'm like, oh, I ain't heard from. Let me just go ahead because and I know some people like, well, you should have reached out to her, but you asked me out.
Come on.
This was your plan and your thing going on. Yeah. To me, when I'm first dating, I don't take any of that seriously.
Yeah,
it's just I'm going out to have a good time. It ain't no hard feelings because I'm still cool with the person. Like we interact we are friends on social media, and I don't think he's a bad person. It's just that, like I said, it's just the fact that the way they was trying to date, I was like, are you serious? Or are you? Because to me, that's not being serious. You know what I mean? Like when somebody is really trying to get to know you, I feel like they make I ain't saying they got to call you every 5 seconds, but it's a Wednesday. Hey, we still on?
Yeah, for Friday.
Still on. Looking forward.
At least once. At least once.
I don't hear from you, shucks. I done made my decision on what I'm
So
doing
we
Friday.
we don't understand each other's cadence yet. Yeah, when you have not been somewhere with somebody, you do have to establish. Well, I know he's gonna be there because these last 6 months have shown me that he's gonna be there.
So is it wrong to ask the person, like if you're in a situation and y'all say he wanted to go out with you, and you're like, okay, great, and he said, this is the date I want to go out with you on, and is it for you because of your communication understanding to allow the other person or tell the other person, hey, so check in with me just to make sure we're on the same temperature gauge, like, but not saying anything to the person that whole time? Is that you not communicating well, or is it the person just not understanding what you wanted from them because
that's
you didn't
good,
know?
Shae. That's good.
I think, and let me just say something to that. I love that question, because if it's brand new, then I think it falls on both parties. Not just, it doesn't matter that you asked me out and I accept it. What matters is if we're talking about communication, let's communicate. I'm gonna do it one time. Now let me be clear with you. If we just meeting and you ask me out on a date, so we meet Monday. You ask me out on a date, I'm checking in Wednesday. That's the middle of the week. Mm-hmm. You don't respond. You don't check back in on that Wednesday. Thursday, you ain't said nothing. Then I'm like you, Caronica, I'm making other arrangements. I'm not waiting around. I think it's a two-way street when you first meet. It has to be, because you don't know that person. They don't know you. That's just my opinion.
So other people are trying to get in, and this is true story.
What?
This is true story. I had the one called me on Friday. The other one was consistent about me meeting up with them. Like, hey, I'm doing this, and I'm like, oh well, I might. And the other one's like, well, but I ain't heard from the other one. So, I mean, we're gonna be real. When you dating, and this is what people don't want to talk about. It's you're dating. So that person ain't the only person who's trying to get into you.
That's right.
So I need to know what you're trying to do, because my heart ain't nowhere right now. I'm just trying to go out tonight, really.
Yeah.
And have fun.
But at the same time, but it's like, but you and the person that you end up going out with had the same mentality of what you wanted in a dating situation.
Communication style.
Like, what the communication was. And the other person, maybe they never had to do that. And maybe it was like, he's just a person saying, hey, we set a date, and regardless of, unless we're not going to make it, then we just gonna meet. We gonna, and then usually a lot of times people communicate the day of that morning, but like, so we still on, right? Or whatever the case may be. I know I've done it before. I mean, we set a date. We're gonna go this particular day, this particular place, and we probably didn't contact each other. Probably after that time we decided to date, probably a couple of days after the initial time of telling me you want to go out, the day of, and that was more that morning. Hey, so you up? What you doing? That conversation up on that day. But it just depends on the person.
If I'm talking to you, then that's different. But if I haven't heard from you, and I have a theory, this is just me, and it could be in my head, and I could be the crazy one, but I feel like when people leave it open like that, when you first meet people, they're leaving it open for them. They're leaving it open to see if I want to go out with Caronica, or I want to go out with Kelly, or I want to go out with Samantha. That's my theory. So the reason I haven't heard from you within those couple of days, and I get it, because women do the same thing. But the reason why I haven't heard from you in a couple of days is because, like, on Sunday when I made the arrangement, I wanted to go out with Caronica, but Kelly we was having a good old thing, and now I'm kind of like, I don't know. So on Friday, Kelly might not went through. So now Caronica is the option. That's my theory on the things.
But that's reality, though. That's reality. Let's keep it 100. Okay, call a spade a spade. When we out here dating, like you said, I forget which one of y'all said, you met somebody on Monday, met another joker on Tuesday. So that's reality. So it boils down to, again, goes back to what Shae said. The one, when your true story, Caronica, they wanted to really get to know you. And I think we were all talking about Instagram that we saw about the guy talking about, I forget. but it has something to do with communication. But the reality of it is, guys, we're dating. New, your heart ain't nowhere. Ain't that what you said, Caronica? So let's just tell the truth. Period. Just can you just?
Your word is your word. If I come to you and I
that's all
say,
you got.
Wait, your word is your word. If I come to you and I say, Clorissa, on so and so date, let's do this and this, and you say, yeah, that's great. And just because I did, because we have friends we don't talk to like that every day and all the time, but we have commitments that we have made with each other. So what would make me upset is the fact that, yeah, you got a lot of people coming at you, but you made a commitment to me.
They ain't your friend.
Particular date. And so just because we didn't have 2 conversations before the 2 days that we decided to go, you busy, I'm busy, and we already made this commitment. We made a time, date, and everything, and it was a stamp. Now you decide, because somebody else wants you and somebody else wants to date you and somebody else gave you more initial communication or conversation before our initial date.
You got booted to number 10.
That was
you got booted to number 10. We're looking at these reality shows and these things. You got booted. You have been a reality show for
guy do that to us.
Years. Your date life
do that to us. He would be a dog.
I'm not saying that this is right, but I'm saying when you're dating, we see like Tamar and them, and they dating and they picking these people and how they throwing them down to he number 4 now. He my number 5 pick now. We have been doing this since we started dating.
But that's a man's mentality.
No. Not a man's mentality. You have done it too. You have put somebody in a number 3 spot because they did.
No, I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about if I have, but it's all you said. We're talking about communication.
Let me jump in to support. Let me tell you this. Okay, when the reason I started clapping when you started talking is because I had a similar situation like Caronica. You got, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. It's like, okay, I ain't heard from nobody. Well, the person that I made the first commitment with didn't hear from him. And I didn't consider it ghosting really because he didn't say we weren't going, but the day of he called and was like, okay, I'll be there in an hour. And I was like, oh, you didn't say anything. And his response blew my mind all the way out because his response was very calm. He said, what type of men have you been dealing with that don't keep their word to you? Like, what do you, why did you question if we were still going? And I was like, oh, I hadn't heard anything. And he said, what type of men you been dealing with? Exactly. And he said, oh, I'm grown. So it to me,
your cousin,
my experience leads them to understand what to expect. Because if I had started with guys like that who are men of their word, who show up and be where they say they're gonna be, I mean, y'all, he was so calm. He wasn't irritated. I was like, oh, I hadn't heard from you. I said, well, let me get myself together. He was like, what do you mean? You knew we were going? I'm like, oh, I hadn't heard anything.
Right. That's how I'm with the guy. I'm like that. That's how I feel. Like your word is people's word isn't their bond anymore. And when they say certain things, it's an if when they say it, but they're telling you as if they're actually giving you a direct communication of what they're trying to do.
But I believe that if you are dating, but if I don't know you and I haven't heard from you at all, I'm not waiting around. Like, I meet you at the store on Monday and we go talk on Tuesday and Wednesday and you say we're going on a date. I don't know you and I don't hear from you through that rest of that week. I don't care about your word. Because
you didn't hear from him and he didn't hear from you. It ain't like it's
but I have that's
you didn't contact him either.
But this is what I'm saying. I have moved on. You asked me out. I'm not. That's why I said in the beginning, I don't take it serious in the beginning. For me, it's just about having a good time. So I don't feel like it's explanation needed. I wasn't even upset with the dude. That's why I said I don't think it wasn't ghosting he did. He just was like, hey, and I'm like, maybe we just all better off as friends because I require when you're dating me, I don't need to know you're into me, and I will give that to you too. Like we just can't you can't call me on Friday morning and I haven't heard. You know how many people that I've met how many people have you all met in a store and you haven't somebody say, let's hook up, but we're gonna meet up on Friday. What you doing? And you ain't never heard from them again. Like
I think what Shae is
that's that person's character.
I think Shae's saying that you haven't if you have not communicated, even your communication style from the jump, the person on the back end may not know that you need follow-ups because that's just how you communicate. I understand all the situations, y'all, because if somebody don't call me and it's 5 days, I'm like, oh, well, we may not be okay. But then when you experience somebody who kind of check you in a way where you like, oh, I guess I ain't been dealing with nobody who keep their word, because my expectation was you gonna call me 3-4 times to confirm. And he was like, why? He was like, ugh. And he was like, oh, well, I'll be there in an hour. So I'm scrambling.
That's exactly how I'm thinking too.
So, yeah,
it's one thing if, like, with the situation with Caronica and Clorissa was talking. It's one thing if we talking about it. We say, oh yeah, let's go out on so and so day, and I say, yeah, so just hit me back on like a day or so before, so we can make sure we confirm. That's one thing, because it is my responsibility to make sure the other person understands my communication, because another person is not supposed to just automatically magically know what I want. So I'm telling this person what I want. So yes, we decided to go on this particular date on this particular day. And so to make sure that we're on the same page, hit me up on so-and-so, like so-and-so day. Now, if this person, after me communicating to them and telling them this, and they don't hit me up and let me know something, or at least text me saying we're still on something, then yes, I can see what you're talking about. But if I can't just automatically assume that you know where I'm coming from and you understand my communication style.
Well, I think that it's also based on someone's maturity level. Like Clorissa said, the guy, because we all mature. We're different in our 20s, we're different in our 30s, we're different in our 40s, we're different in our 50s. But again, if this is new and you just met and we trying to schedule a date, the communication has to happen with both. It just has to. Again, Shae, I'm a co-sign and say there has to be an understanding. Because you ain't going to be in a store talking about, well, you need to call me 2 days prior to and all of that. You're just not going to do that. Okay, we set a date, okay, Friday. But like you said, unbeknownst to that other person, I don't know how you communicate. So then it's on both parties to communicate. And then when you go on that date, let's set the standard. So if we're going to communicate any further or continue on these dates, this is what I require. Right. But you can't get mad because, oh, well, he didn't touch base with me, even though you got other people coming at you.
You didn't touch base with him.
Right. Did you really want to go with him?
Right.
Or you wanted to go with the other person? All I'm saying is communication is key. Y'all know I sing that song all the time.
A man is the only one supposed to check in. A man is the only one supposed to. No, exactly.
No.
But ladies, this has been a great topic.
Yes.
And we might have to have a part 2. We be doing our part 2s, guys. But let us know, have you been ghosted? Have you ever been ghosted, or were you the one who ghosted people? And if you're not ghosting people, y'all just stop. Like if you, especially if you're in your 30s and you're in your 40s, then y'all shouldn't be ghosting people. Like,
well, you shouldn't be doing it at your 50s. Let me be clear.
Oh, well, you
really?
Don't do it.
50.
Yeah, just don't do it.
But for what? Okay, that's a whole nother topic. What age do you go?
Players out here.
We need communication classes in school. They need to, for real. Like we really need, because people don't communicate because we don't know how, and so we didn't learn it in school.
No. I'm not going to agree with that. I think the communication style changed when social media came, as we've evolved as a society. When social media came in, everything that we had learned, how we have been communicating face to face, we couldn't wait to see each other. We couldn't wait to hang out. We used to write letters. Don't nobody write letters no more. That's a secret code now, because the kids can't even understand code. It's a secret code. So I think the communication changed when social media came about. So subscribe, let us know, did you ghost? When you ghosted, did you communicate? Well, and as always, thanks for watching Conversations and Opinions. Bye. Bye.